But we begin with breaking news on the war with Iran. President Trump and Iran say the Strait of Hormuz is completely open now that Israel and Lebanon have agreed to a ceasefire. Now, President Trump made the announcement on his Truth Social platform shortly after Iran's foreign minister confirmed the opening. But in his statement, the president called the critical fuel passageway the Strait of Iran. Now, this is a live look at marinetraffic.com. It shows vessels moving through the strait right now, and we'll keep an eye on it to see if that activity continues to increase. Let's bring in CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand. She's live at the White House for us today. Good to see you, Natalie. So what happens next, and what does all of this mean for the U.S. naval blockade?
Well, the president says the U.S. military blockade on Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz is not changing for now, will remain in effect until a deal is 100% reached. That's what he said in his initial post, applauding this news by Iran to open the strait to commercial ships. The president, very active on Truth Social this morning, also said that Iran has agreed to never close the Strait of Hormuz again. But this is the post in which you see that warning the U.S. military blockade will remain in full force. Now, in Iran's earlier announcement that set this off, the foreign minister did put in the caveat in his message that the strait is open on the coordinated routes by Iranian authorities. You know, there continues to be concern, Mugo, about mines that had previously been laid down by Iran in the strait, the threat of mines and any mines that may still be in place. The president also addressing this morning in a separate post, saying that Iran, with the help of the U.S., has removed or is removing all sea mines. So we really will have to wait and see how quickly ships can, in fact, start resuming their transit through the strait in terms of commercial traffic. You know, analysts that you've been speaking to and that we've been speaking to did warn that even once fully reopened, it's still going to take a while to get traffic back to normal.
Yeah, and that makes sense. In the meantime, what is the president saying about ongoing communications with Iran?
He's continued, Mugo, to strike a very optimistic tone. And remember, he told reporters yesterday that a second round of talks could happen as early as this weekend. And in one of his comments today, he said that the process should go very quickly, since he says most of the points are already negotiated. But on Thursday, he did reiterate multiple times his continued red lines. Take a listen.
So very important is that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon, and they've agreed to that. Iran's agreed to that, and they've agreed to it very powerfully. They've agreed to give us back the nuclear dust that's way underground because of the attack we made with the B-2 bombers. So we have a lot of agreement with Iran, and I think something's going to happen very positive.
Now, of course, this issue of enriched uranium continues to be the key sticking point, and the president also on Truth Social this morning said that the U.S. will get all that, quote, nuclear dust, and no money will be exchanged, will exchange hands in any way. This follows a report by Axios that there is a proposal for billions of dollars in frozen assets for Iran in exchange for this enriched uranium. But again, the president disputing that in this post, saying no money will exchange hands in any way. We are still waiting, Mugo, for a firm date of when this second round of talks could happen.
And Natalie, the president was in Las Vegas last night focusing on the impact of the war on the economy. What's his messaging?
Yeah, the president and administration officials have really tried to continue to frame this as short-term pain for this much larger goal of, no nuclear weapons by Iran, and that, the temporary increases at the gas pump are worth it. But CBS News, our crews there have spoken to a number of voters and even supporters of the president in Las Vegas who said that they are really feeling the pinch, that gas prices, it's not just gas prices that are up, but other costs as well. We've also heard it, here in this area from small business owners. So, there is real pain being expressed by average Americans. This is something that Democrats have really seized on just months ahead of the midterms. The administration, the Treasury Secretary this week trying to assure people that he believes prices at the pump will come down to that $3 range later this summer if negotiations go well. But we know, Mugo, that this issue of affordability is going to remain on people's minds, as we fast approach this critical midterm cycle.
All right, Natalie Brand at the White House for us today. Thank you.